Welcome to LifePatch, your motivational voice to encourage you and remind you how awesome you are. On today's topic, it's on comparison. The reason why is today's society, we are flooded through social media, the news, texting, other apps showing the latest and greatest technology that somebody else has, the latest phone, watch, fastest cars, you name it, it never ends. When we compare, it's unfair, and it usually equals despair and hurts us the most. Yes, it's human nature to compare and to have competition. The question is, how can we respond and internalize and do this in a way that is healthy for us and for people around us? Let me start this off with, to the ladies. When you're at a social gathering and you notice a friend or some other lady who has this huge sparkling diamond ring, the latest MK Coach purse, how does this make you feel, especially if you have been suffering financially? To the guys, to the men, let's say that you're a car enthusiast and you're out there Sunday or Saturday morning driving, and then you hear this amazing exhaust note and you look and you see a young man driving a white BMW sports car, GTR, or perhaps it's a red Ferrari. How does this make you feel? The normal response that many of us go through is we have this self-justification process where we assume and think that the other person got lucky and so forth. Sometimes we feel depressed because we wish we were them. And again, compare is unfair and it equals despair. There's a difference between insecure and secure people, and I encourage you to become more secure in your thoughts, in your skin, from head to toe. Because secure people, they know that the biggest competition isn't anyone else but themselves. The inner voices, the internal battles from morning to nighttime. Insecure people are more concerned and they tend to be sensitive to approvals, thoughts, opinions of other people. And it's a death cycle, it never ends. And they are constantly, regularly comparing to their friends, other people on social media. And truth is, there's a lot to be thankful for that they already have. And again, it doesn't help that person at all. If you are going to compare, then compare with somebody who cares. Somebody who can be potentially a mentor to you, who is willing to give you advice, resources, etc. 9 out of 10 times people are more than willing to give you some feedback, some insights. And sure, 1 out of 10 or once in a while, some people, especially those you don't know, and if you ask them, they're not going to tell you anything, and that's okay. Don't take it personally. They don't know you, and a no just means next. Don't give up. But do find mentors, find resources that works for other people. Learn to be genuinely happy, especially with friends. To maintain a healthy relationship is when they succeed in anything, if it's a promotion or a new car or whatever it may be just as happy with them and celebrate. Offer them lunch. Iron sharpens iron, and one day when you rise up and you accomplish something, they will do the same with you. And how exciting it is for that to happen. There are resources out there, clubs, groups that cost minimal dollars. Investment clubs, speaking clubs. Learn to be a better speaker, learn to be a better listener, a better investor, a better writer, all sorts. And always keep in mind, nobody can write like you. Nobody can speak like you. Nobody can run a company like you. So be true to you, learn, and be a composite of the people and of the learning and the education throughout your journey. I like Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba. One of his quotes, and I'll paraphrase it, he said, if you want to make a difference, you have two options. Option one is change the world. Option two is change yourself. Trust me, of those two options, it's much easier to change yourself than changing the whole world. But the cool thing is, when you focus and start changing yourself, in essence, you are changing your world. And don't be the other person that blames and depends and expects other people, the external things, to be in your favor. Look, we're not entitled to anything. We're not entitled to anything in life. You gotta go up there, wake up, show up, and work for it. So some key things I want to share with you are, the first is nurture your nature. Okay, nurture your nature. Be aware of your surrounding and nurture it. We can look to nature with wisdom, like the sequoia tree. One of the largest living things on earth is the sequoia tree. Did you know it started its life, the seed, the size of a dime, and it grows up to over 270 feet tall, weighs millions of pounds. Trust me, this tree, as it's growing and nurturing, it's not concerned about the trees or plants around it. Neither should you. Do your thing and look to your natural environment. What's available to you? Sunshine, water, resources, and be the best tree that you can, and grow at your rate. Next tip is gratitude. Be grateful for everything you are and for things that you're not. For example, we have a car in this first world that we live in the United States or Europe or some other places. And then in some other places, there's no vehicle besides your feet and your bare feet. Some places that they have no shoes. Because the more grateful you are, the more you ought to maximize your gifts and talents in your situation and do more with what you have. And then you will be more blessed. Next tip is feed your faith. Have faith. What's faith? Faith is believing in the good things. Believing in good things, that they will happen to you before your eyes can see, your ears can hear, and your tongue can taste. Believe it. Because you can't depend on anybody else to believe it as much as you. So you have to start that first. And perhaps other people, then they will believe in you. You are responsible 100% of your own life, your own success and lack thereof. And as you progress in your journey, remove certain words from your vocabulary, your mindset. Words like envy and jealousy. These don't mean anything to me, and they should not mean anything to you. Replace them with happiness, inspiration, and gratitude. Eliminate words like busy, tired, I'll do this next week. Because truth is, if somebody says I'm too busy, or I'll do this tomorrow or next week, it's like Eric Thomas, who said, alright, how about we meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and I'll give you $5 million. I guarantee you're not going to tell me you're too tired to wake up, you're too busy. In fact, you're going to be there at 4 in the morning to make sure that you are there on time to collect your $5 million. So the lesson of this is, make the important things in your life important. And how do you know if they are important? Not by what you say, but by what you do. Your behavior is really what defines things that are important to you. Meaning, if you spend more hours on social media, on your phone, than reading a book when you want to read a book to learn about finance, for example, then finance isn't important to you. It's social media. Don't get trapped with how the world criticizes and judges you. People will judge you, especially if you're doing something. The only way to not be judged is to do nothing. But if you do nothing, you won't be and get anywhere. You won't be anyone really. So as long as you're doing something, okay, people will judge you sooner or later. It's part of life. And always keep this with you. Just because you made a bad choice at work, somebody betrayed you, left you, you got a flat tire on your way to work, it does not mean you are cursed or you have bad luck. It just means you got a bad day. Yeah. You had a bad week. Yeah, that happens. A bad season, a bad year, that happens. Look, I had 7 bad years after my dad died when I was 19. To be blamed for his death, that began this ripple effect of 7 years of darkness in my life. And I thought, and I believed I was cursed for so long, too long. But then I realized, nah, I just had 7 bad years. And I still will not change a thing. The wisdom and the things I've learned, that you will learn, will last you for a lifetime. No matter where you are, people are usually in these 4 phases of life. Phase 1, you're going into a storm. Phase 2, you're inside of a storm. Phase 3, you're coming out of a storm. And phase 4, you're bathing under sunshine. Truth is, life and its storms, the storms of life, they don't care about your background, your age, your wealth. Anybody, everybody, nobody's immune to storms. It will come. The storms of life are inevitable. How do you respond to it when life gets tough? How can you be prepared the next time? You see, if life was a ship, then that makes you the sailor or the captain. And how can you become a master sailor? Not through calm, smooth waters, but through storms. That's how you will become a master sailor. As we know, and to emphasize, we have won the biggest life lottery, and that's the human life. Just us being born. So how can you possibly fail in life? I would say this is, if you never truly lived, then that's how you fail. So go after your dreams. Live as if it's impossible to fail. It's like Steve Jobs, he said during his speech at Stanford, about 100 years from here, nobody's going to remember. We're all going to be dead, the people here, in this time right now. So be true to you, because people who are happy and people who are successful, these people are intentional. Be intentional about your life. When you wake up, you ought to be happy most of the time. You ought to be excited. Let me challenge you with this. Monday mornings, when you wake up, how do you feel? If you have a hard time waking up on Monday mornings, it's time to do 2 things. 1, change your goals, your dreams, because they're not big enough or they're not true enough to you. Or 2, change the way you look at your goals, your outlook, so that when you wake up each day, especially on Mondays, you know that by working hard towards dreams A, B, and C, that each passing day you are 1 day closer to that goal. That's right. Each day you wake up, you're just 1 day closer. Until next time, stay blessed, stay hungry,